Good evening. We are here on Sing to the King Gospel Artist Showcase, and I am Minister Ginger Cornwell, and I am overwhelmed, I think is the word, that the feeling that comes to mind when I try to tell you what's happening here, because I'm sitting here with two of the greatest historical music personalities, and they're looking at me like, is she talking about somebody else? But I have with me Minister Jeremiah Cummings, legendary Minister Jeremiah Cummings, and Miss Vinnie Barrett. Oh my goodness, how do we even get you here this evening? I'm just, listen, let me put it this way. When I think about her, let me tell you who I think about, because we're on Sing to the King Gospel Artist Showcase, right? So I'm relating it back to the music. When I think about her, I think about Solomon and David in the Bible, because they were just writing songs.
Yeah, love songs.
Love songs.
Yeah.
They love God, and even today we're still singing all the songs that they wrote when they were thinking about Jesus and how excited they were, and I'll sing praises to His name, and oh, let everything that hath breath praise the Lord. And then Solomon, you know, he went and wrote all those soliloquies, and we be trying to quote them, and
and remember them.
And she is one of the greatest songwriters
of all time.
Of all time.
Yes,
well,
she is.
That goes too far.
Oh no, and you know, and I know I probably sound like a broken record, because when guests come on, I always thank them for taking time out to come on and be on the show. I really want to thank you, because I know how busy you are. But just tell us, just the list is so long. Just tell us some of the songs that you've written and some of the artists that you've written for.
Well, you know, back when I first started, I started writing for a lot of the local groups in D.C., and then I moved on to Philadelphia. And I worked with a lot of the local artists there until I met Gamble, Huff and Bell, who are the owners of Philadelphia International Records. And I became a songwriter, staff songwriter. And I wrote such songs as I Just Don't Want to Be Lonely for the Main Ingredient, who the original artist was Ronnie Dyson. And I wrote Love Won't Let Me Wait for Major Harris, who was one of the singers with the Delphonics. And Bobby Eli and I together wrote a lot of songs together. But before that, I was writing songs. I wrote for the Spinners and Gene Kahn, and so I wrote The Sideshow and Three Ring Circus for Blue Magic, and just wrote a lot of album cuts for them after that, because we were always, Bobby and I were always on the projects with them, and just hanging out at Sigma Sound Studio with the owner, Joe Tazio, and
as she smiles,
folks like him, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, who were just so many songs you can't even list them. It goes off the list.
Wow.
And still writing.
Well, you know, it's interesting because Minister Jeremiah and my husband Martin were both with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. They've known each other for 46 years. They're like little juvenile children still when they get together. But my husband, Martin, talks about you all the time. He's always talking about all these different songs, and it's just fascinating because, you know, we all write, so we know what it means to have to keep song after song after song after song, and it's a gift. It truly is a gift. Yes, but
Jeremiah, Vinnie started, I want to talk about Vinnie for a minute. She started so young.
Right, but the other thing I wanted to, before you start talking about her, I really want you to talk about her, because what I was getting ready to say was she is so modest, and it's almost like she minimizes what she does.
Yeah.
So could you please?
Humble.
Yeah, she's humble, and that's a good thing. That's a good, just what she does. It's like, you know, you get up and you get dressed. It's just what I do. It's just one of those things.
It's what God does.
I understand. But you're very humble, and a lot of times in this industry, you don't meet people that are so humble.
Especially nowadays.
They've lost that fear of God. They've lost that God is doing it, as opposed to I'm doing it. But I really would like for you to talk a little bit about her, because it's easier for her if we talk about her than if she talks about herself.
I've always admired her when I just used to see the V. Barrett on records. I didn't know who V. Barrett was. and then to some almost 40 years later, I come to know her and meet her. I seen her back then, passing in the office, you know, across the street. What was that restaurant called across the street? Louise, or what was it?
No, it was the Fantasy.
Fantasy Lounge.
Yes.
You know, and to be sitting here with her.
We
and,
all used to eat over there.
I know,
Everybody.
but to come together now after all these years, and then look back at the songs that we used to sing that she wrote, you know, it's very moving. And then the thing is that we're not through. You know, after all these years, she's now writing for Ron Tyson, The Temptations, First Tenor, a new project on that. Blue Magic's reunion, she's doing that, you know, and so we're blessed, you know, to have her in our presence. And
I am humble.
you know, we found each other on Facebook, you know, and she said, Reverend Jerry, I remember you, you know, and it's just wonderful that she would take time to come and spend some time with us and share her
It's wonderful that you would ask me to come.
Well,
because every time you're in town, you always ask me to be a part of something fabulous.
That's because you're my friend.
Well, and that's
what friends are for.
I love that, and I appreciate it.
You know, that's what friends are for. We
that's
both
what
know.
Friends are for.
Amen.
I was going to say, sounds like a
I
song.
told you she sang, and you know, I just recognize that you know May Feel Small.
Yes.
And May Feel Small, and I go back 40 years. He was playing piano and over at Potomac Gardens, and I was singing. That was before I got up to Blue Notes, and now we're going to hook up and get Mayfield out here, because Mayfield is just awesome.
I hope so, because I haven't seen him in years.
Mayfield is awesome. You're talking about a keyboard player, a singer. Mayfield Small is awesome,
Ginger.
and he probably don't even know we're talking about him. When he sees it, he's going to be surprised.
Vinnie, let me ask you a question. For people that are aspiring to write, or who have written and have material sitting around and haven't done anything with it, what would you say to them? As a matter of fact, we have a couple of artists here in the studio tonight that are watching that write. What would you say to them to help them move forward in their writing, the music writing career?
Well, first of all, I would tell them to copyright their music, and then I would tell them to write for the masses. I would tell them that when you're writing, remember to write songs that people can easily remember. Songs about love, that's pretty safe. A lot of the songs these days are writing too much about, you know, physical love, and we like the love heart songs.
Yes.
You know, the songs that everybody wants to sing.
Right.
You know, not too many people are gonna sing "Got to Get You Down" later on. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about the songs that are being sung these days. They're not too good for the children.
Right.
But you know, I'm an old school songwriter, so I would say write about love. I would also say the record industry has changed so much, Ginger. We used to go to the producers, the record industries that had offices where we could make appointments and we could get our songs heard. We had rosters of artists, you know, that we could choose from. Nowadays, the industry has gone straight to the internet.